Hey, what's up? This is Venger Satanis, and this video is just a little shout out to Frog God Games and Swords and Wizardry. Rachel Ventura, the blonde frog over there, head of sales and marketing, or vice president of sales and marketing, something like that. And anyway, I'm either the last video or the video before that, I talked about running basically a first timers intro to role playing game session, workshop, class, whatever, for noobs, for people that for whatever reason have never played a role playing game, or maybe they played like once 10, 20 years ago and don't really know what it's about, or it's just it's brand new to them. Or maybe someone that's played like 4th edition or 3.5 D&D, but they've never played anything else. They've never played any old school games or any of the retro clones or anything like that. I did a couple of those. I did a two-parter a couple months ago with Dungeon Crawl Classics, which went very well. It was very cool. I also got a chance to play test the Mega Dungeon module that I'm self-publishing in August, called Liberation of the Demon Slayer. That's that's finished, and that's going down the production line or whatever. I'm waiting on the layout guy and the maps and maybe one or two little pieces of art left to go, but it's shaping up, and like I said, it should be out in August. Anyway, but for this upcoming one, Tuesday is the next session, and I'm just going to use Swords and Wizardry for the rules instead of Dungeon Crawl Classics. And I asked Frog God Games if they could, furnish me with some books, some like hardcover Swords and Wizardry complete volumes, to just at a discount, to then take that savings on to the people. Because for a noob, someone that's never played and this is their first time, they're excited. It's a good time to get the rule book if they want it, or some a little memento or something from their experience trying it. And I just thought $20 was a lot more reasonable than 40. So, and it was great that Frog God Games could help me out with all the Sword and Wizardry complete rule books. Very much appreciate that. So anyway, stop looking at me and take a look at this. So I got 10 hardcover books and monstrosities just for myself, and they also threw in some cool little goodies, like these Orcus stickers. Little green dice bag, Grimsgate, and then this Swords and Wizardry thing, which has an old school gaming primer and an adventure. I got a lot of character sheets, and I got this cool Game Master screen with great artwork. So yeah, very excited. I've got, I think, 6 or 7 people on board to play this Tuesday, and that's very cool. Should be a good time. I think everybody but maybe one person has never played before. Same thing with the last time I taught this workshop class thing. The only difference between that one and this one is the last one was a two-parter, because part of the thing was making characters, and that took like half of the first session. But this time I'm just going to go in with pre-generated characters, and then we can have a total of like 3 hours just to play. And I'm going to do B4 Dungeons & Dragons module, the Beneath the Ruins. It's with a step pyramid and you're underground and Zargon and all that stuff. That's the one that we're running. Anyway, just want to talk about that a little bit and show you my cool loot that, hopefully a lot of people will be interested. This isn't the only time I'm doing this. I'll probably do another one in August and maybe September. And by then, I'm sure all the books will disappear. I'm definitely going to keep one for myself. I read it over. Very, very minimalist, but also very cool. And I like the way they provide right there in the rules, like variant rules and options. And like, oh, well, in the, not the complete, but the previous version of the rule book, they did it one way, and like, oh well, now we're thinking, maybe this is a good way to do it too. And I think for 5th edition D&D Next, that's basically what they should do. Every time they mention like something, maybe everything from the fundamentals, like talking about armor class and ability scores and things like that, to something a little like grappling or how a certain feat is handled. I think they should have, at a bare minimum, 3 different ways to play. One that makes it more like, I don't know, like a video game or whatever, if people like that, and definitely one that's more old school and nostalgic, that goes back to, the roots of gaming in the 70s and early 80s. And then, an alternative option that's maybe more for narrative story games, or something that's, just kind of weird and crazy, or, I don't know, different options. I mean, that's the modular nature that people need, and that might bring, people from all D&D walks of life into, one game, finally. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but if D&D Next is interested in that, then that's probably the best way to capture a wider audience and bring some people back into the fold that they lost with 3rd and 4th edition. Anyway, that's all, I guess. I think I've rambled enough in this video. But everything that I've gotten is very cool. I'm very excited to play and to teach people about the game. And I hope other people do the same. Not necessarily with Swords and Wizardry, but, any other system, or, old school D&D, or, even 4th edition. If you think if that's what you love, and you're passionate about that, and you want to teach people that game, I don't have a problem with that. I'm not going to hunt you down and kill you, probably. But, or anything. You could be doing vampire or paranoia, or, or Star Wars. That'd be cool too. A lot of people don't know what this hobby is all about. They've heard of role-playing, or they've heard of Dungeons and Dragons, but they really have no idea. I mean, my wife, when I said, oh yeah, when she was my girlfriend, we're going to play Dungeons and Dragons, you should come and check it out and play and stuff like that. She didn't know what was going on. She thought it was kind of like the LARP people, and we'd be like throwing things and like actually hitting people with swords. She had no idea what Dungeons and Dragons was all about. She didn't know it was sitting around a table and collectively imagining like what your character is doing in the environment, and opponents coming at your characters and blood flying. She didn't really know it was the imagination and papers and pencils and dice. She thought it was something completely different. And a lot of other people have that assumption or expectation too. So that's what, my new cause of, hopefully once a month I'm going to go out there and, teach people. I use this meetup, Madison Geekery meetup, as a tool, but you could use Craigslist or a sign up at your local library or something. you know, maybe community centers, I don't know, something like that. Just check around your city or ask people. If you live in a big community, like big place, maybe you could do something on the Google community groups. Anyway, I think it's a worthy cause. I'm looking forward to doing this long term. And Swords and Wizardry, I think, is going to be a really nice fit for now. And I'm happy to be reading it and running it, and you know, offering the books at a discounted price. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks everyone at Frog God Games and the creators of Swords and Wizardry. That's it. Yeah, Cthulhu Fatagan.